The EFDD, Mr. Nuttall.
Thank you. I want to start by really changing the tone of this debate. Ms Harms, I'm not going to rabble rouse in any way, shape or form, because I'm sure things were said in the heat of the moment in the aftermath of Brexit, which I'm sure many people regret, not only certain people in this chamber, also in the Commission, but also in the UK itself. The British people have spoken, and threats and bullying are not the answer to the questions the UK leaving the European Union has thrown up. Now, I want to look forwards and not backwards, because what is needed is some fair and equitable negotiations that will ensure that the best deal is struck both for the British people and for the European Union. As an elected representative, I have a duty to ensure that the will of our people is fulfilled. Now, Mr Juncker, I am not here to crow, I'm not here to gloat, I'm not here to hector, but merely tell you that it is in both our interests to get the best deal possible. We in the European Parliament should put aside language of conflict and, as elected representatives, work towards a viable and prosperous future together. The outcome of this referendum is clear. The British people want to leave the European Union, and also being a member of the single market, which entails freedom of movement of people. We want access to the single market, like the United States, like China, like Russia and many other countries around the globe. But we will take back control of our borders, our own laws and our own money. The longer term, we would like to see a free trade deal between ourselves and the European Union. And this makes sense not just for us, but also for the EU. We, the British, have a huge trading deficit with the European Union. £60 billion alone last year. Millions of jobs on the continent are dependent on British trade. We are the French farm's biggest marketplace, purchasing 35 million bottles of champagne last year alone. We are the German car manufacturer's biggest marketplace, buying 800,000 German cars last year. The last thing any of us want in my country and here is a tariff war, which will be mutually destructive for both of our economies. The UK and Europe are joined by geography, culture, history and trade, and that will not change. Therefore, it is imperative on so many levels that we are good, healthy, trading neighbours. We owe it to the citizens of both the UK and Europe to conduct these negotiations in a grown-up manner so we can get the best deal for everyone. Thank you.
Herr Nuttall, Frau JAAKONSAARI möchte Ihnen eine Frage.
There's a question for you. Will you accept that? Go ahead.
Arvoisa.
Thank you very much, President. You were right when you said that assessing guilt and blame is not useful, but I would just like to say and ask if you're aware that the number of hate crimes in the UK has risen dramatically because of all this nationalism that has been stoked. What do you think about the Polish, the French, maybe even the Finnish who have moved there, have been asked, when are you leaving? What do you think about the personal sphere, the negative sphere in the UK after Brexit?
Well, the police have made it perfectly clear that what's happening in the UK in terms of hate crime tends to happen after any national or international event. The move in terms of hate crime, or the rise, isn't actually that great. So, for example, at the end of May, there were 54 hate crimes. In Britain, there were 87 at the end of this month. But I want to say we should have no hate crimes, not just in our country, but anywhere across Europe. And in terms of making it clear that people will not be moved, well, people are protected by something called the Vienna Convention, which predates even Britain's membership of the European Union. Our people are protected in the EU, pensioners in Spain and Portugal and Italy and everywhere else, just as EU citizens are protected in Britain. As I say, I want us to be good neighbours, I want us to crack on with negotiations, and I want us to trade together.